Welcome to Understand All. I'm your host, Aslakir Gerleaf. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey into the heart of our oceans, where a growing environmental disaster lurks beneath the waves, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So, buckle up and get ready to discover the shocking truth about this plastic paradox. Imagine a floating mass of plastic waste, twice the size of Texas, swirling in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. According to a 2018 study by the Ocean Cleanup, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch covers an astonishing 1.6 million square kilometers. That's an area larger than the landmass of France, Germany, and Spain combined. But how did this monstrous patch of pollution come to be? To understand the birth of the garbage patch, we need to dive into the world of ocean currents. Gyres, massive circular currents, act like giant whirlpools, trapping and concentrating floating debris. The North Pacific Subtropical Gyre, one of the 5 major gyres on Earth, is the unfortunate host of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's like a plastic soup, slowly churning and growing with each passing year. But what exactly is in this patch? Well, brace yourself for a surprise. While you might imagine a sea of plastic bottles and bags, a staggering 46% of the patch is actually made up of discarded fishing nets, according to the Ocean Cleanup's 2018 findings. These ghost nets continue to trap and kill marine life long after they've been abandoned. And then there are the microplastics, tiny fragments that may seem harmless, but pack a powerful punch. Microplastics account for 94% of the estimated 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic in the patch, despite only making up 8% of the total mass. Now, you might be thinking, out of sight, out of mind, right? Wrong. The impact of this plastic pollution on marine life is devastating. Over 700 species are affected by ocean plastic, either through ingestion or entanglement, according to a 2016 report by the United Nations Environment Program. From majestic whales to tiny plankton, no creature is spared. In fact, a 2015 study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that 90% of seabirds have ingested plastic at some point in their lives. It's a tragic case of mistaken identity, as birds confuse floating plastic for food. But the problem doesn't stop there. As plastic breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, it enters the food chain at every level. Microplastics have been found in the bellies of fish, the guts of seabirds, and even in the very seafood we consume. A 2015 study published in Environmental Science and Technology revealed that a quarter of fish sampled from markets in California and Indonesia contained plastic microfibers. It's a troubling thought. The plastic we discard may very well end up back on our dinner plates. The economic consequences of this plastic pollution are staggering. Marine debris costs the global economy an estimated $13 billion annually, according to a 2014 report by the United Nations Environment Program. From clogged engines to lost tourism revenue, the price tag of our plastic addiction is mounting. And then there are the cleanup efforts. The Ocean Cleanup, a nonprofit organization, estimates that it could take up to $489 million and 79,000 years to clean up just 1% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch using boats and nets. It's a daunting task, but one that innovators are tackling head on. So, what can we do in the face of this overwhelming challenge? The answer lies in a combination of innovation, policy, and individual action. Organizations like the Ocean Cleanup are developing cutting-edge technologies to remove plastic waste from the oceans, while governments around the world are implementing bans and regulations on single-use plastics. The European Union, for example, has pledged to ban single-use plastic items like straws and cutlery by 2021. But the real power lies in the hands of individuals like you and me. By making simple changes in our daily lives, we can stem the tide of plastic pollution at its source. Swapping single-use plastics for reusable alternatives, supporting businesses that prioritize sustainability, and spreading awareness about the issue. These are all small steps that add up to a massive impact. As the saying goes, we don't need a handful of people doing zero waste perfectly. We need millions of people doing it imperfectly. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a stark reminder of the consequences of our disposable culture. But it's also an opportunity, a chance to reimagine our relationship with plastic and build a more sustainable future. By working together, we can turn the tide on this plastic tide and restore the health of our oceans. So the next time you reach for that plastic straw or disposable cup, remember, every action counts. Together, we can be the change we wish to see in the world. And that's a wrap for today's episode. I hope this deep dive into the Great Pacific Garbage Patch has opened your eyes to the scale and urgency of this environmental crisis. But more importantly, I hope it has inspired you to take action, no matter how small. Remember, every piece of plastic we keep out of the ocean matters. So, let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Until next time, this is Aslakir Gareleaf, signing off with a challenge. What will you do today to be part of the solution? The ocean is counting on us.